How you doing, everybody? I'm Pitstick, back to you again with another educational series from Nutrition Dynamic on immune function. I think this is a very important topic considering the state of our country and the world. We're getting blown up with calls and concerns about what they can do and what's the truth and what's the fake. So I'm here to help dispel some of that and really educate you on how the immune system works. So I hope you share this video, particularly with the elderly and other people that are at risk, and hopefully help you in the future better take care of yourself. So there's 3 topics I really want to cover. 1, what you can do now to improve your immunity. 2, how to dispel some myths, some things definitely not to do, where companies are trying to take advantage of you with misinformation and take those dollars while they can. And 3, and most importantly, when we survive this, and most of us will, when we do, how you can start changing your lifestyle habits, taking care of yourself so your immune system is strong for the future and anything that may come. I think it's very obvious at this particular moment that the medical system, the CDC, and our government are imperfect. They are going to fail you at times. But you know won't? Your immune system if you take care of it. And that's why more than ever we need to focus on this topic today. So let's break down this big topic. Now, I'm going to give you a very dumbed down version of this. And why I say that is because I got to shift it into this 10-minute format. So some of you science gurus at home, you're going to hear a few things that I have to put together to make it easy for everyone to understand. And so I want you to understand the immune system is 2 stages: initiation and resolution, essentially. Now, up until about 5 years ago, we all thought that was one thing. Initiation led to resolution. But a few years ago, there was groundbreaking research that showed us they are independent parts of the immune system. What does that mean? Let me explain. So anytime there's an insult to the system that creates inflammation, that will trigger immune response. Anything from injury, a poor diet that's pro-inflammatory, smoking, drinking. An overactive immune system, too much antigen production will draw more inflammation, which draws more immune activity. Bacteria, the wrong bacteria in the gut, leaky gut or impaired gut function. Lots of stress, more immune activity. And then overactivity. What do I mean by that? Overactivity could be overtraining, but it could be inflammation that continues to stay active in a site, kind of like osteoarthritis, right? It's a deterioration of the joint where the bone's rubbing on bone, and that inflammation, that overactivity keeps bringing in the immune system, all right? So these are insults, and when we're young, that's okay. All is forgiven when you're young, because what happens is often, anyways, you shouldn't do this forever, these trigger leukocyte activity. Leukocytes run out and they're like Pac-Man, and they will grab up foreign bodies or clean up inflammation to a certain degree. These leukocytes, when they grab a hold of something a lot of times, and then they die essentially and throw up a beacon, okay, to come clean me up. I've taken care of something, I need you to get me. Leukocytes kind of have a one-time use kind of deal. Well, they're like a neutrophil at that point. And these neutrophils sit around with this inflammatory beacon. Remember, a leukocyte that's not cleaned up out of the body still has a pro-inflammatory factor, meaning it's still producing inflammation, asking the body to come clean it up. We used to think these 2 things were together, meaning that once a leukocyte was released, a macrophage was released, and those are the big white globulins, and they go around, they're like a sponge, and they clean things up, okay? But that is not the case. That's not how it works. They are independent systems. So over time with the inflammatory things we do, we call it inflammaging, okay? All the things that add up, all the stress, all the bad food, all those different things, environmental toxins, things like that. It continues to produce more leukocytes. And at some point in your life, your body will not make enough macrophages, the little sponges, okay? Phagocytosis, it's them moving around in the body. When you're young, they're really fast. Your body produces a lot of them. It's fine. But as you get older, the number of relationship or activity that has to go into making macrophages, a lot of enzymatic activity, a lot of processes have to occur in the body for you to make macrophages. That part of your body tires. It tires down, nutrient deficiency, a lot of different reasons. So now you're not making as many macrophages in the future. That's why as you get older, the same thing that was fine and you recovered quickly from when you were young takes so much longer when you're older. And especially if you're having nutrient deficiency, lifestyle issues, that's why it's so important for your immune system. So as we go on in life, leukocytes continue to go up. Production, pro-inflammatory activity continues to go up. But macrophages, over time, the production suffers and it wanes. And in that process, so does erythrocytosis, declines, phagocytosis, movement and cleanup of these antigens and all these other things in the body. They tend to go down. This process that occurs, initiation, resolution. So if you're smoking and drinking all the time, there's all kinds of initiation, okay? But there's not very much resolution. Now, there are things that you can do to reduce initiation. Those are the lifestyle things. Mediterranean diet, because it's anti-inflammatory, okay? You can take turmeric, okay? You can take other anti-inflammatories. That will help limit initiation, but it can't stop it. There's a certain volume of inflammation. That's why the people that are immunosuppressed, taking immunosuppressants, have an autoimmune disorder. Smokers, because they keep making inflammation, COPD, chronic bronchitis. They have an immunologic problem because they're making too much initiation. They're weakening their immune system. Their body cannot clean it up and it leaves it unresolved. This leads to an imbalance. A Th2 dominance. What is that, Vince? Th2. So Th2 is a part of the immune system that kills parasites, makes antigens. So like when you get sensitive to different foods because of leaky gut, you'll make antigens to those foods. When your body's looking, when it finds a virus or a bacteria or a foreign body, it'll lock onto that and lymphocytes will make antigens, will make Th2, or Th2 will initiate lymphocytes to produce new antigens, memory T and B cells that then float around in the body looking for these same proteins again. And they're also what's responsible for histamines and allergy, right? So the more you stress, the more inflammation you create, the more dominance you have on leukocyte activity, Th2 dominance, working really heavy. So that's where allergies get worse over time. So most humans are doing this. The problem with this is when you're investing all of your bucks into Th2, you create an imbalance to Th1. This function drops. That means you become more susceptible to viruses, fungus, growth of tumors. So a lot of people who never get sick, their Th2 function is so high that they're the ones that are more at risk for getting cancer or mold or some autoimmune condition because their body's investing overactivity here. But this overactivity still creates initiation, still creates unresolved inflammation that's not being resolved because macrophage activity is not equal to leukocyte activity. Now, what does that mean about COVID-19? What does it mean?